everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to take a look through this magazine. And this is the Australian Woman's Weekly, and it's dated July the 11th, 1979. I wonder how many of you were around in 1979, if you remember what you were doing. 1979 was the year that I left high school, and that December, when I left school, I started working in a department store. It cost 50 cents to buy the Australian Woman's Weekly back in the day. It's significantly more costly today. On the cover, we have Kermit the Frog, because the Muppet movie was due to be released. An Oscar for Miss Piggy, a sneak preview of the first Muppet movie. And I think they knew that there would be many more. What else do we have on the cover? Easy, safe ways to relieve the agony of arthritis. Yes, please. How to cope with jealousy. We have 3 great meals from one chicken. I'm guessing we have roast chicken on Sunday, stir-fried chicken on Monday, and chicken soup on Tuesday. The Star Invasion, Dolly Parton, Carol Lynley, Lana Cantrell, all coming soon. 6 personal keys to happiness, beautiful bathrooms, how to get your children to do what you want them to do. Yes, please, I'm going straight to that article. Walk and lose 5 kilos. Why Betty Ford is having the best time of her life. Let's have a look inside. And straight away, smoking was portrayed as very glamorous and almost healthy. Fresh is alpine, and they're wearing white. But to go in with a nautical theme, she's got a blue jersey or sweater draped over her shoulders, and they look very healthy and sophisticated. And this is the editor, and her name was Ita Buttrose. Don't laugh, that was her name, Ita Buttrose. I wonder if it's a very common name. We have the table of contents, and they would divide it out into their special features, their regular features, which would include things like the gardening and crosswords, I would imagine. We have beauty and fashion, home and family, which I'm guessing maybe that would be where we'd find our cooking and our recipes, because the Australian Woman's Weekly often had delicious recipes. A magnificent man in his man-powered machine, the epic flight of the albatross. Wow, it looks a bit like a glider. It's a very unusual shape. It has what looks like a clear perspex or glass. It's very unusual. I'm not sure where he would sit or stand. I can just make out the DuPont logo on here. At dawn on June the 12th, an American cyclist named Brian Allen pedalled a fantastic aircraft into the sky over England and aimed it for the French coast. Less than 3 hours later, he had made history. Reporter James Joseph witnessed the event. That would have been quite an adventure. Oh, I can see him sitting inside. So maybe it was to protect him from the weather. Look who it is. Dolly Parton, Bombshell Country Style. So this was people coming to Australia. And being a women's magazine, we have advertisements for makeup. And this is an example of how the makeup was done in the 1970s. You can see her eyebrows aren't as thick as we might have them today. I think maybe in the 80s, Brooke Shields started wearing her eyebrows a little heavier. But those of us who were around in the 70s now find that we can't grow our eyebrows beyond a certain point. So eyebrow pencils have become very popular. So these are people coming to Australia. People judging the Miss Universe contest. Barry Humphries. Now Barry Humphries is famous for his character Dame Edna, and he portrays a character who is a woman and he does it very, very well. He also portrays a character called Sir Les, and Sir Les and Dame Edna don't get on very well. From memory, I don't think he stayed married to this lady. Barry Humphries and his bride, Melbourne artist Diane Milstead, with flower girl Louise King, aged 5, Barry's goddaughter. Beautiful bouquet in blue and white. And the little flower girl has a dress very typical of the time, with a frill at the bottom, and she's got a floral print, and it's a red and blue floral print. And we are tempted by a delicious holiday to the Greek islands. New arguments in favour of breastfeeding. I think towards the 70s, bottle feeding became a little more popular and women enjoyed the freedom of being able to go out to work. But the argument for breastfeeding is always a strong one. And here's the man himself, Jim Henson. Do you remember when he passed away? It was such a shock. He was such a talented man, and he gave so much in the way of educating children. I myself learned a lot from watching Sesame Street. And here he is working on the movie. Scooter, he was my favourite character, or maybe Gonzo. I like Scooter and I liked Gonzo. Miss Piggy, very glamorous. Crazy Harry. Miss Piggy, the sex symbol. I'm sure many of us can identify with Miss Piggy. And we have another cigarette advertisement. This time it's for Benson and Hedges. Every affair has its golden moments. This makes it seem a little bit illicit to have a cigarette. There's Betty Ford with a gorgeous house and a fresh lease of life. A new look, a new home in California, her drug and alcohol problem over. Mrs. Ford speaks to Claire Crawford. And what a house. What a lovely back garden. Oh, let's look at some fashion. And this is some Olympic fashion. How about athletes on the road to Moscow? Back in the day when men wore Speedos and shorts were short, they wore short shorts. There were no baggy trousers, baggy pants with belts hanging below the boxer line. Jeans were sensible and fitted. They fitted very well. And they were quite flattering. The what are known as mum jeans went over the waist, so they were able to flatten a tummy. I miss those jeans. The swimsuit with the logo on by Speedo in New Zealand, and I think in Australia too, but in New Zealand we call these togs. Togs. So very smart jeans. The Levi's jeans for boys were only $16.99 and $26.99 for adults. It's a bargain. We have a quiz here to see if you are a jealous type. For example, how upset would you feel if you have just received a phone call from a friend telling you that your husband was seen having lunch with a very attractive young woman? He had told you he had a business appointment for lunch. Would it be extremely, moderately, somewhat, or not at all? Adelaide, the street with charisma. Very nice. I like that building with all the plants on there. That's very, very nice, kind of cottagey fairy tale feel to it. I can imagine maybe Goldilocks rocking up there and sampling some porridge. Apparently, it's a grapevine and it's 104 years old. Wow. Oh, now I was all keen to find out about easing the agony of arthritis until I saw that it involved exercise. Drugs promise breakthrough in reducing arthritis pain. A drug called naproxen. What do we know about naproxen? Medication called difluzinil. I must Google these and see if they actually are recommended drugs or if they turned out not to be as wonderful as first promised. And here we have an advertisement for some L'Oreal shampoo. And she has beautiful hair cut into a page boy style with a fringe. That's our word for bangs. It's got a little bit of a flick out to the side, tucked under at the edges. And she's wearing a very natural makeup. And L'Oreal has been a brand that's been around for a very long time. And look at this wonderful carry bag. Now that looks very, very useful, doesn't it? What a lot of pockets. I don't think we had cell phones then, so I'm presuming this little pocket here might have been for keys. And look, it came with a real opal triple pendant worth $12.95. And you could get that for free. And the bag came with your initials for just $16.95. That's wonderful. How wonderful. Oh, we have a laxative emotion. Question: do laxative pills relieve irregularity? Answer: yes. Do laxative pills tend to cause griping pains or keep you awake at night? Answer: many do. Is there a more gentle solution? Yes, fruit. Fibre. Eat a balanced diet. Let's see how Agarol works. Just as well as a pill works, perhaps even better as there's no griping pains, no being kept awake at night. And Agarol will gently relieve the problem overnight, so that by next morning you'll be back to your regular self again. The mind boggles. Seals steal the show. I'm not sure what I think about this. It was 2 minutes to showtime and the audience was getting restless with anticipation. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere was just as tense. I'm not sure what I think about this. The seals' names were Barney and Angie. And they would perform in front of an audience. I'm not sure what I think about that. Maybe they enjoyed it, I don't know. Seal shows are on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays at 2:15 p.m. and Saturdays, Sundays and public holidays at 11 a.m. and 12:15 p.m. These seals had to work hard for their fish, but they were given Mondays and Tuesdays off. We have some baby food made from natural ingredients. And, some beautiful eyeshadow by Helena Rubinstein. Isn't that dramatic? Very nice. Judith Viors talks about my mother, my children's grandmother, my friend. I can hear a bit of movement outside. My dog is walking about. I'm going to let you in on a secret. I'm filming this in my wardrobe. My next door neighbour is doing some major renovations to his house, so I've come here for some peace and quiet. We have a nappy clean treatment. Sayo makes it good to eat. Sayo crackers. Yummy, yummy. This used to be oily hair. Oily hair. And she's using Sunsilk shampoo. Can you hear my dog? What do we think of this lady's makeup? What a dramatic makeover. Blue eyeliner, and I think This was actually a little bit before Princess Diana's time. Well, she was probably wearing blue eyeliner back in 1979. I'm trying to remember what year Diana and Charles were married. But she looks very pretty here. Very nice. Could one of these women be you? The brokers think you should have at least one thing in common with these women. So this is an insurance company. Coffee. International Roast comes in a sachet now. I'm not sure if it still comes in a tin. The girl who refused to give up. She fought to get her health back again. Good. Lovely shoes. Oh, I like her shoes. They have laces. If you wear them under trousers, they might look like boots. They're very nice. They're very classy. Gardening. Look at that. Wouldn't you love to have that in your front yard? That's a lot of maintenance. How to make an oven fry. I need to know the secret to this. What you see here isn't just a chip. It's a bird's eye chip. And it wasn't just warmed. It was fried in an oven, because that bird's eye chip is actually a bird's eye oven fry. And a bird's eye oven fry is made especially to fry itself in the oven. As you can see, a bird's eye oven fry looks just like a chip is supposed to look. And apple shampoo. You can be happy, happier, and happiest. Know how to evaluate your happiness and get much more out of life. It's a technique that really works, advised Dr. Maynard Shelley and Joanna Buck. So we can find out the keys to happiness. 6 personal keys. Prepare, be organized. Pick something you want to do and not overextend yourself. Warm up just before you start. Orchestra leaders tune up. Ballet dancers and athletes do stretching exercises. Psych yourself up or down to your right arousal level. Feed on positive reinforcement and create opportunities for it when you can. Concentrate. Remove those distractions and pressures over which you have control. And here we have a yummy pie. Now, I have heard that Americans, and I'm not sure about Canadians, only eat pie as a dessert and don't have meat pies. If this is true, you don't know what you're missing. I am a celiac myself, and so I have a gluten-free diet, but lately I've been able to purchase gluten-free pies, and oh my gosh, it is such a treat. There is nothing to beat a good meat pie. Some Sunbeam appliances. Wow, that looks like a deep fryer. I hadn't thought of deep frying Brussels sprouts though. No, that is definitely a deep fryer. Maybe that's for boiling. I wonder if you could use it for the same thing. It's a very small frying pan. It looks a bit like a wok. After the rain, look at that beautiful rainbow. I love rainbows. They remind me that God's got his eye on us, and if he makes a promise to you, he's going to keep it. He's not going to let you down. Oh, the love story of the century. Edward and Mrs. Wallace. Wow. And so this was was the TV series starring Edward Fox and Cynthia Harris. Those are very smart socks. Socks to go with your shirts and tie. Hole proof. I need those for my husband. And we have the letterbox where people are able to write in to the editor, and I think they received a payment. Yes, we pay $2 for all letters published. Letters must be original, not previously published. Preference is given to letters with signatures. Because some people used to use a nom de plume, such as "so there." But they would give preference to people who wrote their names, such as J. Bunce, W. Bodfish, V. Bain, J. A. Fenner, M. White, and Y. Pick. I have a feeling Y. Pick is a nom de plume, as is Befuddled Mechanic. "160 Reasons Why You Need This Free Book, jam-packed with information for the traveller." Let's look at some beautiful bathrooms. Now, what do we think about a red bathroom? I think it looks nice with the greenery, perhaps. And they've even matched up the soap. Very interesting, very 1970s. Very lots of wood and red with a dark blue contrast in the artwork and the towels and the flooring. And we have green and blue here, dark blue and green. And another blue bathroom here. Another red one. It looks like red was a popular colour in 1979. And this is where you can match your decor to tie in with your tissues. And you could create a green oasis, carefully put together with an eagle eye for detail and lots of imagination. Even the toilet paper is pretty. Oh, here's that avocado green, which became very popular in the 1980s. So it begins. Wow, look at that. That's quite a pattern. That one, I think, is a little more mainstream for today. And here we can get rid of germs in our closet. Perhaps I should have sprayed some in here before I sat down. Wow, here's our 3 great dishes from chicken. We have spinach and cheese soup with chicken, chicken and mushroom pies, hot chicken and crab sandwiches, corn soup with chicken, individual chicken casseroles, creamy chicken sauce for spaghetti, chicken noodle soup, chicken vol au vent. Oh, there's more. Chicken and pineapple balls, chicken broth, family chicken pie, chicken croquettes. Oh, here we have Gustav, and he's a chef. Oh rats, I'm out of oil. Now where am I going to get oil at this time of night? You rang, and it seems to be a rat dressed as an oil sheik. That's interesting. I'm not sure how that would go for cooking. And here we have a dinner party. Chocky rolls. Yummy. There's a recipe here for Chalky Rocks. Cookies that disappear as fast as you can make them. Yum, yum, yum. Could this be made gluten-free? Or it does have 2 cups of self-raising flour. It's made with chocolate bits. Yummy. And what are we going to have at our dinner party? Oriental corn soup, spinach lasagna, vegetables julienne, green salad, followed by caramel lemon delicious. That must be the dessert. That does look nice. And the continental stock cube, chicken stock and beef stock and garlic stock and onion. Apricot conserve. More cooking. Yummy, yummy. These are chopping hazelnuts. And what have we got here? Oh, you can buy some Australian label red wine for $2.35. Oh, it's got to be good wine for $2.35. Here's a column by Sheila Scotter. More coffee. Moccona. Hefmere. I remember the ad. And we must be in the travel section here. Wow. So this is the Bavarian Alps. Now that looks wonderful, and it tells you where you can book. Oh, from New Zealand we can book it as well. At P&O Cruises. That would be just delightful. Some more food items. Hilltop Living, Austrian style. It's very interesting, very 1970s, but very trendy, modern 1970s design. Look at the red lampshade. It's a lot of wood in that kitchen, and the orange bench tops, very 1970s. Orange, brown, red, green. Pineapple pie time, and we've got some crushed pineapple, and we've got some recipes for pineapple Hawaiian time, pineapple Hawaiian pie, pineapple orange crunch pie, pineapple mallow pie. How to get your children to do what you want. Parents who think they are telling a child to do something can fall short of being clear, direct and effective. Paul Wood and Bernard Schwartz offer expert advice on how to remedy the problem by saying what you mean and meaning what you say. It's a bit of child-rearing advice. There's Ronnie Corbett. I loved him. He's one of my favourite comedians ever. And sadly, he passed away in 2016, along with many other great entertainers. And he's advertising a kitchen towel. Rice risotto. More rice risotto. Baby shampoo. Optrex solution for your eyes. Another advertisement for cigarettes. I haven't heard of this brand. Ardath, taste and value you can't beat. I'm wondering if it was more of a budget brand of cigarettes. It's not one I'm familiar with, not that I've ever smoked. He's got the very typical moustache of that time, the late 70s and early 80s. Without your help, he may never touch his toes again. The Miracle Man's fitness program. So I just need to give my man some miracle margarine. and he will miraculously be able to touch his toes. And look at these wonderful berets that you can knit. This one has a peak. Wonderful caps to knit. Compact. So these are little short items in the land of the giants, challenging the channel. The violin that is worth $264,000. A film review. Butch and Sundance, the early days. And this is a conditioner to protect your hair from heat. Look at her golden hair dryer. Isn't that beautiful? A short story. And a cough syrup. Some vitamin tablets for your dog. And Collector's Corner. Please date and tell me the origin of my ceramic figure of Mercury. In composition it is like marble and has a matte surface. Underneath it is marked in blue with 3 parallel wavy lines. I think your figure was made between 1870 and 1890. Some hairspray. I wonder if it had CFCs, so damaging to the environment. Maybe, maybe not. Old is being delighted to run into an old friend who's gained weight. That's a little harsh. We have another advertisement for laxatives. And these dresses were beautiful uniforms for all occasions, or smock. I used to wear a smock when I worked in that department store. Look at this fashion. Oh my goodness. Brighten your nightlife in these stunning Arnell dresses and separates in dazzling jewel colours and priced to suit your budget. Look at this beauty. Isn't that amazing? Wow. That's amazing. How much is it? Oh, let me have a look. Far right, slinky disco pantsuit. $56. $56. That's, well, it's unusual, isn't it? I like that he's wearing a matching handkerchief as he is, and he is. He looks like he's either laughing at a joke she's just made or that he's horribly embarrassed. Jack Lemon from the China Syndrome. Pants for lounging. So this is just some fashion advice. And this is what we all do when we wear our lounge pants. We lounge. I wish I had the opportunity for such lounging. Garfield. Yay. Look, Garfield, I made a kitty door for you. He goes out and it smacks him in the bottom. So he shows what he thinks of that. A clear-cut case of self-defense, if ever I saw one. And there's Jane Fonda. And she's acting as Kimberly Wells in the China Syndrome. Kids going cheap, $2.50. That's about immunisation. We had the column that was a regular feature on playing bridge. And it advertisement for Walmart. Money matters. Something to help with period pain. Tuition classes. A concealer by Max Factor. School holiday camps. Canoeing, archery, horse riding, boating, tennis, abseiling, golf, fishing, and lots more. 7-day camp is only $28. Where do I sign my children up? My daughter's going on a weekend camp for Easter, and let's just say it's significantly more pricey than $28. Loving memories of Carl. There must be Carl. How sad. A reader's story. 9 Lives pet food. With some cute kittens. They have very cute little tails. These two are particularly hungry. I think this one is near the end of the tin. This one is either finished or waiting to start. We have the regular crossword, and it hasn't been done. The cryptic crossword for the very clever. We can still get deep heat to help relieve pain. And the cutie pen. Cutie pen trims and shapes your cuticles without cutting. The cutie pen. We have some medication for head colds and chest colds, some cough syrup, and another comic, and this is a giraffe that it has no pattern. I told you not to wash him with detergent. Humour is very straightforward. If someone asked you to take the risks your kids take, what would you ask for? Insurance, school children's insurance. They look for some to take pity. World Vision Childcare, where you can sponsor a needy child. And that is still going today. It's a wonderful cause. My husband has 2 sponsored children. Marmaduke, he was a Great Dane. Remember the officer directing traffic back there? I think he stole his cap. And then people are writing in with questions on legal matters to a column called You and the Law. And these are some stickers from different locations in Australia. Every sticker tells a story. I think this may have been the medical column, and he was talking about medical hypnotherapy. Interesting subject. And something to hold our dentures in place. And some help with contact lenses. Some saline solution. The comics. This is what I went for. More cat food. Fred Bassett was a Basset hound, and his owner says, "You know we don't give you scraps at the table, and it's no use sitting there wagging your tail with that appealing look in your eyes. You're wasting your time. And begging won't help either. Oh, for goodness sake, here you are." She always gives in the end. And this is Mandrake the Magician, which was a continuing series, so I never really caught up with an entire story. There was never a story so far to catch up on. But he went around solving mysteries with his associate. The children's pages with puzzles and games. guess what these things are? I think that's a scrubbing brush. Looks like a brush. And that's a rubbish tin lid. These I'm not so sure of. Ah, the answers. That's an umbrella. This is the back of a clock, which isn't familiar these days because this is a wind-up clock. We don't see wind-up clocks very often now. And this is the top of a cup. There's the handle. Oh, cute babies. They would be grown-ups with their own babies now, I should imagine. And you could get some baby products in this competition, colouring competition. And the horoscopes, which I never paid attention to. And since Mum bought a mini Max, I've got more soft dry nappies than I know what to do with. But I'm working on it. And here we have an advertisement for some alcohol, some Johnnie Walker. Born 1820, still going strong. Apparently, Johnnie Walker is Scotch, and she takes it as red. So the dominant colour in this advertisement is the colour red. Her red lipstick, red nails, and her red outfit. I hope you've enjoyed this. Good night.